And as I was standing in the middle of the river, I was dreaming. I was dreaming of a more fulfilling life. I was dreaming of a purpose-driven life. And I was just dreaming of a life where I'd have more peace and quiet. And that's when, suddenly out of nowhere, the preacher grabbed me and he dunked me under the water. Have you seen Jesus? And he pulled me up. And I was stunned, and I didn't know if I should answer the question or not. So while I'm standing there thinking about it, the preacher grabbed me and he dunked me again. Have you seen Jesus? And he pulled me up. I thought, well, he asked twice, so he must want an answer. So I opened my mouth to answer the question. And as I opened my mouth, he dunked me a third time. Have you seen Jesus? And he pulled me up. And I said, no! Are you sure this is where he fell in? We all have dreams of some kind. Some of us dream to be rich. Some of us dream to be famous. Some of us are dreaming that one day more hair will grow on our head than our back. We all have some type of dream. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to be drowned almost 3 times in order to get to our dream. So I was sitting there thinking one day, after going through all this torture, I thought, boy, you really have to be careful what you dream, because sometimes those things come true. And after I was reminiscing on my life now and how my life is more fulfilling, and how I do have a purpose-driven life, and how sometimes I have some peace and quiet, I got to thinking, all that trauma that I went through in that river that day, I thought it would be great if I could help somebody else live their dream and at the same time cause a tremendous amount of torture. So I went in search of somebody that I could assist. And after searching high and low, I found someone. And I sat her down at the table and I said, Mom, is there anything that you would like to do that you haven't done? Something that you've dreamed of your whole life and it's just never happened yet? And she said, oh, as a matter of fact, there is. I have always wanted to work at Hooters. Now, my mother is 69 years old. But I thought, if this is her dream, then I wanted to help her live her dream and make her dream come true. And at the same time, maybe get a little bit of torturing her as well. So I called up the manager of our local Hooters, and I said, look, my mother is 69 years old. She's always had this dream of working there. Could you humor her just for a day or two and let her work there? And he said, sure, not a problem. He said, send her down. Next day, we go down to our little Hooters store, and we meet the manager, and he hands my mother the little Hooters uniform, for lack of a better word, and sends her back to the dressing room. About 3 minutes go by when we hear, oh, no! And my mother walks out. Now, all I'm going to say is the Hooters outfit stopped here. My mother stopped here. So thinking quickly, I asked the manager of the Hooters store, I said, you by chance don't happen to have any duct tape, do you? And he said, as a matter of fact, we do. So we took a piece of duct tape. And we attached it to the end of one, and we just kind of brought it up and attached it to her shoulder on the one side. And then we took a piece of duct tape on the other side, and we attached it to the shoulder on the other side. And all I want to say is, duct tape does not work on everything. Apparently this was a test they did not try. Because every time my mother would lean over to pick up somebody's drink, those things would break loose and she took out 3 people at one time. So after about 30 minutes in this outfit and in this establishment, we looked around the room. There were about 30 men laying down on the floor. And I said, this isn't going to work, is it? And the manager said, well, it's possible. I said, is there any other outfit that you could put my mother in that would be a little bit more feasible? And he said yes. So he sent my mother back to the dressing room. She came out. This time she was dressed like a very sexy cow. And right down the front of this cow outfit it said, utter queen. Now there is a moral to this story. And the moral to this story is Sometimes, although our dreams may seem long and far away, if we ask the right people, we can usually find the right support. So what I would like to say is, the next time you have a dream and you find yourself daydreaming, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I want this dream bad enough to be dumped and drowned 3 times? Do I want this dream bad enough to be bound by duct tape? And do I want this dream bad enough to parade around Hooters in a cow outfit? And regardless of what you answer to those 3 questions, heed this warning. Be careful what you dream, because sometimes that just might come true.